He said Sci-Fi Channel had a show come out that went along with the game that came out at the same time. Plot development of the show was supposed to affect the game, but then the show got canceled.
Interesting.
Is anybody surprised that the Sci-Fi Channel did that? Because I'm not. Hey there, and welcome back to the Free Play Podcast. Once again, my name is Bubba, joined with Matt and Kate, and we really, really love talking about the things that we've been reading, watching, playing, and experiencing in nerd culture. And so that's what we want to do right now. It's really, like, honestly, kind of like the whole reason we do this podcast.
I think this is the best segment.
Like, we get to talk about the stuff that we've been playing and, you know, watching and all sorts of stuff. And so we want to share that with you. If you're here with us live on twitch.tv/lovethynerd, please do us a favor. Tell us what you have been experiencing in nerd culture, because a purpose, if we have to give one to this segment, is so that we can kind of share back and forth and learn new things and experience different stuff. So I think that the best way to start this off, just fresh start, is to let Kate go first.
Thank you. I'm happy to have the chance to go first this season. So I actually haven't played or done that much in the break, to be honest. It was kind of sad. I mostly played The Sims. I played...
Is that it? You're done?
No. I played like a third of Red Dead 2 again. I don't want to play through the whole thing because I know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I can't bring myself to get past a certain point of the game.
Just do it.
No, I can't. I mean, I can, but...
Are you talking about Red Dead? I'm sorry, I zoned out.
No, I'm talking about The Sims.
The Sims, okay.
No, I'm talking about Red Dead.
Well, she's playing a Red Dead version of The Sims.
Are you
Red Dead.
Arthur Morgan in The Sims? Like, what's the problem?
I'm playing Red Dead Sims. No, so I kind of like gave up on that whole thing. I've rewatched like 4 shows again that I took the time to rewatch, so I wouldn't have to talk about them here, so that everyone would be bored at what I've watched again.
Thank you.
For the 5th time. I won't even touch on what the shows were because you could probably guess.
The one about looking for ghosts, old mines. What was that one?
Oh no,
Ghost and Living.
YouTube. That's YouTube.
That's you, bro. That's not. You don't watch.
The hostility here.
YouTube. I've basically my whole time of games in this break has been The Sims. I'm trying to create a whole legacy of Sims that are just like super rich. But every time I move Sims out, they lose some money because when you sell the house, their housing system is kind of messed up, right? So I have to I had a house where I crammed like 4 Sims in the house just to make money. I'm like, let's go. We need $1 million. Let's freaking go.
So see, man. So you beat Ragnarok before we hit the break, right?
Yeah. Wow. So I had nothing. There was and here's the other thing is that I was gonna buy that Forspoken game because it looked good, and then I played the demo and I had no idea what was happening, or like everything just felt clunky and weird, and I just didn't connect with it.
Dude,
so I didn't get it.
That game bombed.
It did. So I'll get it when it's the free game, or if it's on massive sale, I'll grab it. You know, but I don't want to spend $70 on it. Then I'm thinking, should I get the Hogwarts one? That looks kind of fun.
Man,
so,
I'm there on Hogwarts. Like
I'll probably get it because Steven asked.
Right?
Yeah, Steven asked if we could get it because he likes Harry Potter.
Do you tell him it has nothing to do with like transporting loads with vehicles?
Yeah,
I told him. I just want him to know. Like, okay,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, so that's what's on the horizon for me. I think the biggest thing that I've experienced in this break was The Last of Us show on HBO, and I'm 1 episode behind probably both of you. I haven't watched the latest episode because Steven wants to watch
episode 3.
I have not because Steven wants to watch it, so we haven't had time. You know, I like to binge these things. And it is an absolute masterpiece. We should do a whole week's episode on this show. Maybe when it ends, we'll talk about it.
I think that we're absolutely going to have to, because what's happening with The Last of Us is that it's reigniting everybody's passion for what could be with video game cinema.
Yes, it is.
Man, I can't wait for Mario, right?
It is so.
Oh, you know who can't wait for Mario? My
Pratt?
10-year-old son.
Oh,
Chris Pratt.
He's like,
yeah,
Chris Pratt is his name. Thank
Chris
you very much.
Pratt, yeah.
So The Last of Us, we can talk about it more in depth on another day and time. Well, still the same time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. But
Not a bad launch point for Sony. Kind of, stepping out and saying, "Hey, we're really going to turn these IPs into
I think
experiences for your eyeballs."
Neil Druckmann was like the one who made the show what it was and was the advocate for it because he worked on both the games. He understood it more than probably anybody. So, anyways, Matt, what have you been playing?
Well, I will start with I've also been watching The Last of Us, and I won't spoil it, but
so while we're on that, and I'm glad that you came right back to that, Matt, because like the viewership from episode 1 to episode 3, it was already high. It was the largest like premiere that HBO Max had, which is kind of saying some stuff because like Lovecraft Country was on there, and like some other like really great stuff.
That new show with the Throne.
Oh yeah, Dragons.
Dragons,
House
whatever.
Of Dragons.
Yeah.
Throne.
Yeah,
Thrones.
Dice Throne. Got it. Right. But I think it rose like 35% between the first episode and the third episode, and so like that was.
Well, it was so big that like they put episode 1 on YouTube for everyone
for
to
free.
watch. Yeah, for free.
Yeah,
Brilliant. Look at that. It's brilliant marketing.
So I will say, if you enjoyed the game at all, you should watch the show because they do such a good job of. Okay, even if you didn't, they've done such a good job of recreating it. Like in those first few episodes, like there were moments I was like, "Is this a video game or is this like live action?" Like legit, like whatever they were doing their camera, it made it look like the video game. And vice
was it
versa.
when they were in the car?
I think there was a moment then, another moment like when you were looking at the scenery, and I was like,
"Oh, got it."
Oh my gosh! Or when they went into the museum and they opened that one door. Anyways, it's good. It is very good. Episode 3 is kind of a deviation in some regards. It explores in a story, but I'll let you watch that yourself. I have been playing during the break. I finished the first God of War. I think I finished it during break. Was that at the end of last season?
I think so.
I think you did. I think you were playing it at the.
I think I was almost done with it, but I finished it, and then I moved on to Ragnarok, and it's been very good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the story. I've had a couple weeks where I haven't been able to play as much, but I think that I'm getting nearer to the end. I don't want to spoil anything. I guess I can ask Kate, and she can let me know. But
I haven't even started yet.
You have to, Bubba. You have to, please.
I know that I have to.
Game,
this is season.
January game.
No, I said it was my December game. Nice try,
this
guy.
Season, this free play season, will you please play that game?
I will. I'm just like every time I sit down, and I mean, I'll talk about this here when I get a chance. I'm doing other things, and it's not because I don't want to, but it's because I know that when I sit down to play God of War Ragnarok, it's over. That's all I want to do. And that will be all that I do. And so I'm trying to kind of save that pocket of time. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's very good. And if you enjoyed the first one, you like this one even more, I feel like.
I absolutely did.
Perfect.
You did.
So I'm trying to figure out what game I play next because I know this one's going to come to an end, and I don't want to. I want to continue playing video games. I just need to make sure I'm prepared for what I should play next. I might go back and finish Jedi Fallen Order before the new one gets pushed out.
You got plenty of time.
Delayed. I know it got delayed until April or whatever, so I've got a little bit more time.
You didn't beat the first one?
Mm-mm.
I didn't beat it either.
Oh, I did.
I know Spider-Man is coming out as well. I'm interested in that at some point.
Is that the official name? Spider-Man?
Spider-Man's?
I thought so.
I don't know. I haven't.
Spider-Mansies. Spider-Man video game.
But you're not going to go back and play Spider-Man.
No, right? I platinumed that. I platinumed Miles Morales. Like I've had my fill of those games. I don't think I'll go back. I know they keep going back and adding new suits to the first game, which is I think is really cool.
Oh, really?
But I don't need them.
Not compelling enough.
Sorry. I've been able to play some tabletop games. I talked a little bit about that yesterday on Matt and Bubba in the morning. I won't bore you all, but I've played Once Upon a Line, which if you didn't back it, it's too late. It's over. You might be able to get the late backer. Also played Starship Captains. Starship Captains, also a great game. Whole lot of fun. So we're going to be continuing to do more tabletop content. Wednesdays, Aaron and I will have co-optional starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Bubba and I will have Matt and Bubba in the morning on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Just as a point of clarification, Beard Bros with Matt and Bubba in the morning, like the show.
I'm sorry, I shortened it.
We combined them.
That's the show name now.
We had to.
Beard Bros with Matt and Bubba in the morning.
Yeah,
there's no way to condense it. Oh,
it's just in case Bubba and I are no longer with Beard Bros, but Beard Bros can continue.
Because look, Matt's beard's only getting shorter. Okay,
this keeps falling out.
Did you not notice that, Kate?
No.
Yeah.
It was blocked by the mic.
There you go. How about now?
Well, now it's blocked by your neck that's behind it. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And I think that is a good amount of what I've been playing. I mean, Tuesday night we had the Megazord documentary, and I think you're going to talk a little bit about that, Bubba. But
I'm going to try.
That was super exciting, and really, like that's all. I've been painting minis, my Frosthaven minis, which has been a lot of fun. I've been trying to paint through as many of those as I can.
Hey, save some so that we can paint them on Beard Bros. Okay?
No, save some and put them in a terrarium. Okay.
Well, no to Kate. Maybe not Frosthaven. I'm not doing Frosthaven. Are you kidding me?
Well,
Bubba, I can't paint some of them because people get really mad about spoilers in that game. I found.
Well, save some minis. I sent you a message yesterday. I was like, hey, have you? And you're like, yeah, I've painted everything.
No, but after I thought about that, I thought, oh my gosh, I probably have 250 Marvel United and X-Men United figures I could paint. So I have plenty of stuff to paint. But I put a post up of some of the Frosthaven figures I had painted, and there were some people who didn't like that I put a certain character on there that I didn't
find. Isn't the character on the box?
That's what I said.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Yeah. So I didn't think it was a spoiler. I took it down. If people think it is, that's fine. But I'm trying my best not to post any type of spoiler on the social medias. So
consider it.
For me, you could post anything you want because I will just never know if it's a spoiler or not. I have no idea. It might as well be in a different language because I just can't read it.
It may as well be. Hey, Bubba, what have you been playing and or watching or reading?
He hasn't been reading that much, we know.
I keep the captions on. We always keep the captions on. So I started playing a game. I was on Save Point Ministries stream with Steve Valdez, and I was on his premiere episode, I think in December, and the recording got lost. We played a game called Happen Lance, and it was great, but the game just wasn't ready for people to play it. It was way too early access, and so it kept crashing, it kept kicking us, and all sorts of stuff. It was really fun, but so this time he was like, "Hey, you want to play a game called Nobody Saves the World?" Which I never heard about this game.
I don't know that game.
It's phenomenal. Like, this game scratches all of the itches I never knew I had about video game.
Look
it is the story honestly doesn't necessarily matter as much as the gameplay. All right, so it's like top-down isometric, like cartoon game, like cell shaded, right? And so you're going through, and you're a nobody. You have nothing. Like you're just this amorphous personages, right? Personages. And so you're going through, and as you level, you're doing like little quests and completing things. You earn different forms to morph into. And so like some of the forms are magician, turtle, horse, egg, zombie, like in every single. Horpins? Yeah, well, you can Horpins, absolutely, 100% Horpins. And each one has a completely different play style. And so all of your 4 buttons, A, B, X, Y, I'm playing on Xbox, they're mapped to a different move. But as you progress in the game, it gives you the opportunity to change all except for your primary attack, because different enemies have different things that you need to do in order to be able to do damage to them. Like you maybe need to poison them, so you got to hit them with a poison attack before you can do damage or whatever. And I accidentally, and I mean accidentally.
I don't believe you.
I accidentally, the first time I picked this game up, played it for 6 hours straight. Accidentally.
Did you eat during that time?
No.
Oh, you were in a flow
I'm actually
state.
not surprised about that.
You didn't get up to go to the bathroom either.
Well, and it was like crazy overcast, and so time was a construct. It was a myth. It was a thing that was holding me back, and so I told Steve, I was like, I'm going to get on just to make sure everything works and stuff like that, and just kind of learn the mechanics of the game. And then 6 hours later, he was like, "Oh, I see that you played a little bit of this game." I was like,
a little
now,
bit.
okay, I'm gonna just ask like just a stupid question, okay? Based on what the information you gave me, is it a good game?
It is great.
Okay.
I mean, I love it because it's like it's very dungeon crawly. It's kind of a beat 'em up, kind of a scenario. It looks like Double Dragon in some ways, like kind of
I've heard
top
that
down
game.
going through. If you've ever played like Castle Crashers and stuff like that, like that's the itch for me that it scratches. Shredder's Revenge, Old Turtles games, stuff like that.
Now that's the one you're talking about.
It's very beat 'em up, brawly kind of stuff, and it is legit. Like honestly, I tell you, the story doesn't matter because I've just been fast forwarding through all the story elements. I'm not even super interested in it. I love getting new forms and doing all sorts of stuff. So we got to the end of my stream with him, which was another 2.5 hours, and we started basically over from zero. He and I both did. And we played again, and we got to the very end. And he was like, "Okay, hey, I've got to go pick up my kids. Do you want to play this game with me again?" And I said, "Absolutely, I want to play this game with you again." And so he's like, "All right, let's find another time." We got off. I had to go do something, and then I came back to it the next day, and I played it for 4 more hours on that save file. Not even on my previous save file.
This could have been Ragnarok.
This is me with Gloomhaven. If my name is Matthew Warmbier and I'm playing Gloomhaven, I'm like, I will just play all the save files from zero.
I understand that.
Well, I'm happy for you, Bubba, that you found something that has captivated you in such a way that you've...
Such a good game. It pulled me away from Hi-Fi Rush, which if you guys watched any of the Xbox, developers conference stuff, Bethesda dropped a brand new game, and it was Hi-Fi Rush. I think it was Bethesda. Was it Bethesda?
Yes, it was.
I think it was Bethesda.
It was. I'm looking at it right now.
I know now.
It's a cartoony, cell shaded, third person action beat 'em up, but it is rhythm based. And I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And as they're talking about it, I started off kind of like skeptical, and by the end of the presentation, I was like, I want to play this game right now. And then they said it's available tonight, and I was like, holy, that's exactly how I want games to be announced. That is exactly how I want them to be announced. No build up, no lead up, just, hey, you want a really cool thing that you never heard about?
Yeah, congrats. Boom. Here it is.
Available tonight. And so I played it for about 2.5 hours that evening. Phenomenal. Games.
Oh, look, here's a review on it that you will like to hear. This person says, so get this, instead of hyping up the game for years before launch, making empty promises and dumping millions into marketing, these guys poured the cash into development, made a game, and released it, and didn't tell anyone about it until it was ready. And it was none of that day one patch, no early access, no beta, no constant crashes, frame rate drops, game-breaking bugs. This game is polished and complete.
It's fantastic. Like, again, I don't usually hit this many golden games. Like as I'm playing, I usually have a couple stinkers in there. And it's just because, hey man, maybe it doesn't hit for me or whatever. But both of these games, I'm like, yo, absolutely. And so I will, throughout the rest of this year, probably spend time finishing those games. Nobody saves the world. I will do all of it. I mean, I'm really
proud of you for finding a game you want to finish.
I'll do all of it.
Yeah.
Well, so that's on top of other stuff that we've been playing, Matt. We've been playing more Board Game Arena stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
I don't know that I'll ever play through all the things on Board Game Arena, mainly because I'm not interested in all the games.
No, there's a lot of games in there,
and there are just one metric ton of games. But one of the things, and I only have just over a minute to talk about this, and it's not going to do it justice. But one of the major things that we've done is in October, Matt and Luke and myself had an opportunity to go to Cincinnati, Ohio, and be a part of a thing called the Megazord Summit, which, much to our chagrin, had almost nothing to do with the Power Rangers. But
I almost said no.
But it was the gathering of Christian content creators, primarily streamers this go around, but Christian content creators, to build them up and to inspire a spirit of unity within them, which for us, we go way back, and I'm not going to give you all of the details. Good news is I don't have to. There is a documentary that was filmed while we were there, and our good friend Greg Miller at Lux Digital, he put it together, and you can go. Matt, do we have a command for that yet?
I was not logged in. I put a command.
No, there's no, he doesn't.
If you're watching live on Twitch, Matt just dropped the command, the link there. But if you are watching or listening later, it's not live yet, but it will be by the time this is syndicated. You can go to lovethynerd.com/Megazord, and it'll take you straight to the documentary. It's fantastic. It's about 45 minutes, and it just kind of chronicles this journey that we've all been on, and how Love Thy Nerd is able to play a very large role in helping this movement go forward. And so that's kind of our heartbeat, is we want to help everybody that we can better love and serve their nerdy neighbors. And there's really not a better place to start than the nerds that are in the space that are already doing that. How do we take the things that they're doing and help them do them better? And also learn from them, as the door swings both ways. So we've got a partnership with Lux Digital Church that's helping us, and we're helping them, and it's very symbiotic and synergetic. Actually, February the 8th, I'm going to be preaching on their Wednesday night service, and this is part of the partnership that we're
What are you gonna talk about?
Actually, they're in a series. Yeah, The Last of Us. They're in a series right now called Leave Everything, and so we're going to be talking about worship and what it means to like worship in and through sacrifice, and how you have to leave your concept of things behind in order to progress in your walk with Jesus. And so it's going to be cool. I'm super excited, and we'd love to have you guys there. That's going to be on twitch.tv/Lux, Lux Digital Church. And that's going to be, I think it's 7 p.m. my time. So
don't do LUXE, okay? Don't do LUXE.
Luxe.
Digital,
Lux.
like something different.
Yeah. And also don't go to Lux Digital. Like it's Lux Digital Church. Like all three of those are different things.
Okay, so we'll provide more information on when you're going to talk and all of that at another date. 'Cause I already forgot everything you just said.
Same.
So
yeah, I'll go back and watch the VOD.
We'll post about it.
But hey, those are some of the things, not even all the things, just some of the things that we've been reading, watching, playing, and experiencing in nerd culture. And thank you to everybody who told us in chat. We'll go back and talk about those things in the last segment. Kate's been taking notes, and we'll go back and, like I said, kind of recount some of those things. Well,
thanks, Kate.
The robot, Mr. Twitch, has been taking the notes here. Hey there, and welcome back to the Free Play Podcast. Once again, my name is Bubba, joined with Matt and Kate. And to close out our show today, we are talking about SuriWow in the chat. My good friend, he is the leader and the starter of safestreamers.com. And so go check him out over there. And so he said in the chat, Kate, what did he say? What was his comment?
He said Sci-Fi Channel had a show come out that went along with the game that came out at the same time. Plot development of the show was supposed to affect the game, but then the show got canceled.
Interesting.
Is anybody surprised that the Sci-Fi Channel did that? Because I'm not.
That's too bad.
You could replace Sci-Fi Channel with Fox, and I would believe it even more.
The game ended up being like a free-to-play game.
I've not played 1 second of this game.
Sorry, what did you say it's called?
I don't think anybody here would play that game.
Defiance.
But then, it was shut down in 2020, so kind of recent.
COVID got him.
COVID got him, but that
was part of the story.
Oh, he's okay. See, it does work.
But actually, do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Like, not that they like the movie affected the game, but they released in the 90s, they had the Shadows of the Empire book They had the Shadows of the Empire game and the Shadows of the Empire comics, and all of them like together told a full story. Separately, you got the story, you know what was going on, but together they gave you even more of a full story. It was kind of making me like get all the different pieces and put them together.
Were those canon?
They're not anymore. They were.
Interesting. So now it's all legends.
Yeah. Well, I believe it in my heart still. So.
Oh.
It was a different multiverse in Star Wars.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they may bring it back. Like that was kind of like before episode 1 was released. Like that was kind of the plan as like the next movie they were going to do as well. Like, but then all the actors were too old and didn't want to come back.
Oh.
I mean,
you know Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Yeah. So and ultimately probably didn't want to do it. So really, like I loved the idea of like all that together and getting the full story with the game. The game was freaking hard, and good luck getting past that first level, but
we did it.
Or second level.
I think
I got to the point. You get to the point where exactly. Okay, you get to the right. I did where you're basically reliving Hoth and trying to bring down the AT-ATs, and it just was so hard. So hard.
Well, impossible as a kid. I don't care what you say. Nobody ever beat that as a kid. Nobody did.
Yeah.
Well,
I did that one time, and then we didn't make it any farther than that. He just died.
Well, the next level's actually it's like hard. So
they're all hard. It's all hard. I need a Game Genie.
I don't know if this game was hard. Defiance. It was a MMO, by the way, third-person shooter.
Okay. I mean, I dig MMOs. Like that's kind of a big deal for me.
It's fine. It's just interesting that because it's so dependent on each other.
I think that could have been fun, good. I don't know how that would have worked. Like, obviously, if the game...
Oh, that game is old.
If the game was impacting the show, that was the flow? Game impact show?
Okay.
I'm looking it up.
The show was supposed to affect the game.
The show was supposed to affect the game.
That seems way more doable. If the flow was going the other way, where the game was actually impacting the show,
yes, that would be rough.
That would be difficult. And you're like, they could write the story for the
but then why wouldn't it just be canceled at the end? Like, did they have that many players that they were like, no, we have to save it. We have to make an argument to save it. And now it's like not really tied to anything. It's just a game on its own. Like, is it still compelling and interesting? I mean, clearly not, because it all got shut down after the
legit. I think that's the crux right there. Like, are people even interested in that? And I think that really the only way, maybe not the only way, but one of the major ways for this to work is with an established IP. And so if you were to say, Tom was asking in the chat earlier if anybody played WoW, which the answer is yes. Like,
somebody does.
Somebody does.
There are people in Love Thy Nerd that play WoW. I would really point you towards Susie Live on Twitch. Yeah. He has a guild called Unity Gaming, and his entire stream is basically just World of Warcraft, and he streams like 15,000 hours a day.
Wow.
And so, but anyway, I think that if you were to say, like, we're doing a show that will impact gameplay, that's a good way for an established IP to keep people coming in, because people who are already fans of the game are going to watch the show, and if the show is then going to dump back into the game,
I mean, this is going to sound stupid, but you could do like Marvel, like have a Marvel MMO
that would work,
the show attached to it, and then the Skrull invasion happened, and now like you watch the show, and now like you can't trust anyone basically. So
yep. So that's possible with the DCU now. We didn't talk about that, and we don't really.
That's right.
It, but like that's possible because James Gunn has said, and maybe that'll be one of our major topics one of these days. James Gunn has said that the entire DCU is movies, animated stuff, films, and television shows, live action television shows, and games. Like, they're all going to be in the same.
Which is so cool.
And so it opens it up for that stuff to inform everything, to inform the others. And I am just all the way here for that.
Yep.
All the way. I don't know jack or squat about half of the things that he announced, like Gods and Monsters being the first wave for the DCU and all that. Like, I don't live in DC. I just don't.
I just trust that.
Oh, you live in Texas.
I do live in Texas.
DC,
I think DC's East Texas. Yeah.
I trust that it will be somewhat like the MCU, where like no one really knew Iron Man, but then like his movie came out and everyone was like, "Oh, Iron Man! No, I love that guy.
Yeah,
I love Booster Gold."
I can't wait for the Booster Gold show. Right, like,
man, this conversation has evolved into a whole other topic we could use.
Well, and I like that. But
yeah,
I think that's kind of the nature of things, right? Is if you're only looking at single one-off experiences, it's difficult. If you can create dynamic and engaging experiences with things that you are trying to get people to actually engage with, that's the sauce, man. Like that's the way that you hook people. So again, Mr. Bezos, McMouse, whomever owns Netflix, I don't know, probably some alien or robot, I'm sure. Like if do more of that, and you'll have at least one customer. And I know that you just want me.
Customer.
You want an army of one here. But I think other people might enjoy that too.
Everybody do what HBO is doing with The Last of Us. Also do that.
Done.
And make it good.
So
double
easy.
it, double it again.
Double it again. I honestly can't wait. I think that Last of Us had already got greenlit for season 2, which was duh.
Yeah, it absolutely did.
It did, and I have thoughts about it, but I don't have enough evidence to say the thoughts. So
and that'll be a whole topic for us. And so
maybe we'll wait to the end when the season's done.
Save that for the podcast for sure and for certain. But I cannot wait for this. This almost solidifies that Destiny gets something, whether it's a show or a movie or whatever. And I think that there is good story to be told there. And
that could affect the game.
I hope so. Oh my gosh, I freaking hope so, because that is a living game.
Yep.
But anyway, I mean, it's exciting times to be a nerd, right? Geek is still very chic. Nerds are still ruling the world, and so let's kind of carry that as far as we can.
Yes, I pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy.
You and about 5 other people in the chat did that.
I pre-ordered it, and I used a gift card, so I paid $0.
When is it released?
In a week, the 10th, I think.
Okay, yeah, that checks out. Yeah.
That's what it said on Amazon, so I'll take their word for it.
So next Friday. Oh, hey, you'll be playing it while we're recording next week.
I will not, because remember, Amazon never delivers it on time to me, and then I panic every time this happens. I dedicate half an episode of this to it.
Yeah, well, it'll be Hogwarts Watch.
I'm not in a rush to play it, so if it comes the next day, I'm not going to be bent out of shape.